Hey, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another community webcast. Today we've got a great session, which is really a kind of a continuation of our community webcast that we had a few weeks ago on our product strategy and roadmap. And today we've got some great news and a great presenter here, Rajeev Kumar from Product Management, will take us through our next release here for CA Service Management 17.0 release. And we'll be taking a look at some of the new features, some of the timelines that you can expect and need to know about. And of course, we'll definitely take questions at the end of the presentation. And if you have questions, please do use the Q&A feature button. We'll log those and get those answered best as we can in terms of timing. Excuse me. So with that, I'll hand things over to Rajeev, and he'll take us through today's presentation. Rajeev, it's all yours.
Hey, thank you, Jim, and thank you for setting up the stage. And good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Like Jim said, I'm Rajeev Kumar, work on the product management team, and in next 30 minutes or so, I'm going to present what's new in CA Service Management 17.0, which is the next major version for CA Service Management. It's work in progress at this point in time. So what we are going to present is still being tested and tidied up for a release later this year. So, just a quick bit of disclaimer that it's work in progress. Service Management 17.0 would include the various products in the suite, Service Desk Manager along with xFlow, and that 17.0 version, Service Catalog and IT Asset Manager, specifically the asset portfolio management piece of the solution. The release is expected in the second quarter of the calendar year. So, expect it any time in a few weeks from now as we enter the Q2 of the calendar year. Currently, we are in the customer validation phase of this release. So if you would like to have a hands-on preview, would like to download the pre-release builds, you can do so from our customer validation site at validate.ca.com. So this release primarily is focused on 2 or 3 distinct areas. We are continuing to invest in the new xFlow user experience in the solution. So that's going to have multiple new features, these 3 distinct new features for analysts. So we'll take a look at that. Contextual collaboration for analysts, that will take the collaboration between analysts to the next level. Follow-up for analysts, ensuring that analysts don't forget their callbacks and can manage all of that in one place. And based on your feedback, we have also enhanced the end user profile in xFlow, as quick profile in SDM was probably the most used feature, and xFlow is going to be very close to what quick profile offered. Apart from the new xFlow features, we also have a brand new UI theme across the products in the solution. And that theme is aligned with xFlow so that the interfaces look the same, feel the same, they belong the same solution. So that's a new thing in the release. This release is also going to be a lot more upgrade friendly compared to its previous counterparts, and we'll look at the details of what are the areas of upgrade that are going to be easy in this release. And we have made the Service Catalog a lot more accessibility compliant than its previous counterparts. So we'll take a look at that. We'll also take a look at the compatibilities, the platforms, the databases, the other interoperable CA and non-CA products that we'll be supporting in this release, and then we can open for questions. So analysts, while working on the tickets, they typically collaborate. They reach out to a subject matter expert. They reach out to a colleague to discuss the issue and get some solution ideas. But all of this happens outside of the tool. So when the ticket changes hands, that information is lost, and the next analyst starts all over again. To fix that problem, we introduced the concept of suggested experts, which provides contextual information on what are the other subject matter experts, who are the people who can help resolve this ticket much more quickly. This was available as part of the initial xFlow release. What was not there, though, the ability of the analyst to initiate a conversation with the experts or anybody else through the command bar in the context of the ticket. So with this feature, an analyst can initiate a chat and exchange not just messages, but also files and screenshots and other types of attachments, can add a third user or the fourth user at any point in time in the chat conversation. And the best part is that all of this stays with the ticket. We have tried to keep it a little less intrusive as compared to the typical instant messaging applications, which is more continuous or synchronous in nature. This is more asynchronous. So if an analyst is not in a position to respond to a chat message, can go back to the notification bell that you see at the top and can respond to the message at a later point in time. So it is a little less intrusive, a combination of the chat and instant messaging mechanisms, making sure that the collaboration happens, but it is also not too intrusive or too distractive. So this is a big one for analysts, and all this information is retained on the ticket timeline, can be viewed by analysts at any point in time. The chat log and the file transfers, they are all internal to analysts. This information is not visible to the end users. So at the end of a chat conversation, if an analyst decides to curate all this information and add that as a solution on the ticket, that's what would be ultimately visible to the user. So we are taking the collaboration among analysts to the next level using the contextual collaboration feature in xFlow. Another thing to keep in mind with respect to this feature is the collaboration is possible between the folks who are using xFlow interface. It's between one xFlow user to another xFlow user. Another feature where we interacted with a number of analysts, and we found that analysts typically keep track of their callbacks or the follow-up schedules elsewhere, either in notebooks or calendar or whatnot. So we brought the follow-up feature in xFlow itself. Analysts can mark a ticket for follow-up and set a follow-up date and time, set a reminder method like you do in Outlook or any other reminder applications, to get a reminder prior to the actual follow-up time. And once that is done, the follow-up information is reflected under the follow-up queue. So when the analyst starts the day, all the tickets that have to be followed up on are available through a single queue. You see this follow-up queue at the beginning over here? That's where all the follow-up tickets are going to sit. So start the day, look at the follow-up queue, and get going from there. Reminder is typically made available through a banner, in-app banner, and a notification under the notification bar. At a later time, if analysts want to update the follow-up information, they can go back to the ticket and use the same view to update the follow-up information of the ticket. So, this feature would ensure that analysts don't have to hop through multiple tools to keep track of the callback information on their tickets. And the quick profile, a feature where most of you came back saying xFlow doesn't have quick profile, which was very useful in SPM. So we enhanced the profile information of the user. It is available through the global search. It's available through the profile card on the ticket or the profile information on the ticket details view. So the details about the contact, address, and the environment information like assets and CIs associated with the user. All of that is made available through the quick profile in xFlow now. The next capability or the next theme that we have in 17.0 release is to reskin all product interfaces with the same UI theme. So now Service Catalog, Service Desk Manager, and IT Asset Manager, they all have same look and feel. The left menu representation, the tabs, the fonts, the buttons, the iconography, they're all consistent across 3 products, and they are in line with what we have in xFlow. So they look the same, they feel the same, they look to belong the same solution as they are. So we have made sure that while we are updating the skin, we have not really made the layout changes under this theme upgrade, because layout changes are really difficult for users. So while it improves the overall appeal of the UI, it keeps the usability aspects of the product to what it used to be. The users who are using the interfaces, their work is not disrupted. Another one, which is a big one for Service Catalog, is the federal customers, the governments, and other organizations who care about the accessibility compliance or 508 compliance. The catalog screens that are relevant to end users and administrators, the most frequently used screens, are now fully 508 compliant. That required a lot of work on the back-end side, so our forms are upgraded, the form designer and other administrative screens, they are all updated with respect to the back-end technology to support 508 compliance, be it keyboard-driven navigation, the screen reader, or the high contrast ratios and things like those. It's available now in Service Catalog, end user as well as administration screens. And as you can see that it's available for the administrators, not just on the application administration side, but also the form designer and the service designer pieces. And all of this is now navigable through keyboard and enabled for the screen reader. We have also focused on ease of upgrade, specifically in the area of Service Desk Manager. Traditionally, a big friction point in SDM upgrade has been the error-prone and time-intensive aspect of merging out-of-the-box files with the custom files in an implementation. So with this release, we are introducing a utility that will help administrators merge their local custom files with the updated out-of-the-box files in the installation media. And so far, what we have tested it for, it proves to be successfully merging almost about 80% files, and in some cases it has gone beyond that. So it's going to reduce the amount of time generally administrators take to merge the files, and that has been a manual error-prone procedure. This is going to automate much of that. The files that this utility cannot merge are also highlighted. So administrators can go to those specific files and then merge them manually. This utility can be used in the upgrade scenario. So whether you are moving from 12.x to 17.0 and you have a number of files to be merged in an upgrade situation, or you start using 17.0 and down the road we release a cumulative or a minor release and you have to merge the files in that context. So the utility can be used in both the scenarios equally effectively. Continuing on the ease of upgrade, we have had a number of problems reported on Service Catalog 14.1 upgrade experience, and we have made sure that we have addressed all of those problems in Service Catalog. So 17.0 installation and upgrade experience for Service Catalog is also going to be a lot better as compared to 14.1. The other aspect around the solution upgrade is that we have taken into account is the incremental or staggered upgrade in the solution environment. So if you're moving from service desk 14.1 to 17, but really don't want to move on service catalog side yet or asset portfolio management side yet. So we have made sure that the combinations of 17.0 and 14.1 in the environment are still maintained. However, we recommend that you move to 17 for all the products in the solution to reap the benefits of the new features. But we just to be practical with respect to your migration and upgrade scenarios, we have tested these combinations to work as well. For direct upgrade from previous versions to 17.0, we have been testing Service Desk Manager for any version, including 12.5 and beyond. So if you have SDM 12.5 or 6, 7, or 9, 14.1, you can directly move to 17.0 without requiring any intermediate hops. For Service Catalog, it is 12.8 and above, and for Asset Portfolio Management, it is 12.9 and above. I have not listed xFlow over here, but the same goes for xFlow. It has just one version out there, which is 14.1.03. You can move from that version directly to 17.0. We haven't tested the prior version. So if you have Service Catalog 12.6, for example, we haven't tested that version for direct upgrade. That might work, but if it doesn't, you'll have to hop over to any one of the 12.8, 12.9, or 14.1 version to move to 17.0. Integrations and compatibilities. 17.0, the major additions are Windows Server 2016 and SQL Server 2016. But for other interoperable CA products, we are going with Process Automation 4.3 SP1. Client Automation, it's going to be 14.1. CA Business Intelligence, which is Jaspersoft Report Server, it will be 6.3 with 17.0. For EEM, it's 12.5, and that's what it was for 14.1 as well. The only difference is it will be CR05, which is Cumulative Release 05 instead of CR03 is what we had packaged with 14.1. We are also in the process of certifying the next release of EEM, which is expected in the same time frame as CA Service Management 17.0 release. So we'll come back and provide an update through documentation wiki if it is going to be EEM 12.6 as well, because that's also expected in the same time frame. We have also updated the third-party components in the solution, so it's now Java 1.8 or specifically GRE 1.8 for all the solution components. It's going to be Tomcat 8 Plus in case of on the web server, wherever it is applicable. A big ask has been on the TLS side, the Transport Layer Security 1.2 compatibility, and we are going to support that in all three products in 17.0 release. Windows Server will continue supporting 12, and we are adding 16 to it, and we have removed 2008 from the mix. Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7.3, it's not applicable for Service Catalog and IT Asset Manager. Solaris, the latest version 10.3, would continue to be supported with SDM. And we are also testing with SUSE Linux Enterprise Edition with the 12 SP2 version in SDM again. We will be dropping AIX support for SDM with this release. Now on SQL Server side, we'll continue supporting 2012 and 2014. We have also added 2016 to the mix, and we are dropping support for 2008 going with the 17.0 release. And on the Oracle side, it will be 11GR2, 12C that we supported with the prior versions of service management. that will continue to be supported, as well as the RAC implementations of Oracle configurations. So that's pretty much summary of all the integrations and compatibilities that we'll have with 17.0 release. All right, so that's pretty much it for 17.0 update. We are now open for questions, so if you have specifics, please post your questions on Q&A, or Chris, maybe we can open the line, and we can go ahead with questions.
Yeah, Rajeev, I think because there's so many people on the line, I think we'll keep the lines muted, but there are questions in the queue. If you can, either you can kind of take a look at those, or I can read those out to you, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, I am at the Q&A view now, Jim, and we can perhaps get started here. So
good. I think we probably start with the xFlow. I think Michael had a few questions on xFlow in terms of scalability.
Yeah. So a question from Michael is the new xFlow chat collaboration capability scalable, meaning I can chat to analysts which are logged in on a different xFlow app server? Absolutely, yes. You can chat with analysts who are logged into the interface through a different app server, even if the analyst is not logged in currently. If the analyst is offline, the message is still delivered. And when the analyst comes back online, analyst will be able to view that message and respond back to the chat. So the answer is yes, Michael, that's possible.
Got it. And then the follow-up there is the quick profile adjustable, configurable, customizable regarding the customer-specific attributes?
The quick profile piece is not customizable at this time. The attributes are fixed. But are there specific attributes, Michael, that are on your mind? If you can post that over here, we can go back and check if all the required attributes are there.
And then kind of similarly, one of the questions is, will you enable more than 4 custom attributes in the xFlow card view? Are we going to expand that at all in terms of the number of attributes on that card?
So the custom attributes you can swap some of the attributes that you view on the card or the list view in xFlow. The number of attributes would always be limited because of the real estate considerations for UI. But in the configurations, you can choose to replace some of the attributes with a custom attribute. Not just to set them, but also to see values which are currently set. Yeah, you can do that. So once you swap them out in your card view or list view, the values you see corresponding to those attributes will be real time coming from the ticket. So that should be possible.
It seems like the continuing theme here is the customization. Can you also speak to the scorecard and its customizability?
Yeah, so the scorecard or scoreboard equivalent in xFlow is work streams that you see on the left-hand side, and you can define custom work streams, etc. But if you have existing queue or you have existing scoreboard, you can reuse those scoreboard definitions in xFlow as work streams. All you'll need to do is to go to your scoreboard definition and select the scoreboard queries that you would like to include as work streams, and you'll have to just check that box and save it, and that scoreboard query is going to be available in xFlow after that.
Let's see, and then I guess some of the other questions here are specific about customizing in xFlow, especially against or with legacy customization. So how do those actually get applied, and will they coexist, or do you write over them?
So, customizations could be categorized into the schema extension, like you have custom attributes and properties. And then the other side of customizations is the HTML changes or the UI changes. So xFlow, we have consciously kept xFlow to be configurable over customizable. So you can include the custom attributes, be it in card view, list view, or the definition of ticket or the streams. The custom attributes can be included there. Properties can be included there. However, the UI side of HTML customization will not be available in xFlow because it's an entirely new layout, and it's tailored for specific set of users. So the UI customizations cannot be brought over to xFlow, but you can definitely get your attributes and properties in xFlow.
Okay, and I think we'll take one more here on xFlow, and then we'll kind of move off that and go into some of the other areas in terms of upgrades, et cetera. But xFlow, will xFlow ever support HTML in the description fields?
At this time, no. You can just type in your description, but we would be definitely interested in understanding the why behind it. What is it that you are trying to achieve by making it HTML enabled? And we would like to dig into that and see if it is required. We'll bring it up in future releases.
Okay. Continuing in the list for upgrades, question is 14.1 Service Pack 3 required to upgrade to 17.0?
Not really. So whether you are on 14.1, CP1, or CP2, or CP3, you can directly move to 17.0. So CP3 is not an absolute must-have.
Okay. All right, here's a good one around Unix environments. Any projection or future capabilities for Service Catalog running in Unix environments?
Well, the need will drive our roadmap for sure. So if our customers believe that Service Catalog running on Unix is something that's going to be helpful to a lot of customers, we would definitely consider that. But at this time, it's not on our roadmap.
Okay. I'm going to pass on the xFlow one. I think we've pretty much answered some of the customization capabilities in xFlow. You kind of speak to this, so Rajeev, is Service Catalog included with the SDM license?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, Jim?
Yeah, is Service Catalog included in CA Service Desk Manager license with a Service Desk Manager license?
Yes, and that's a bit nuanced, so you may have to talk to your respective account person. We do have a Service Desk Manager package that includes Service Catalog within it, but there are previous Service Desk packages and licenses that don't include Service Catalog. So you may have to consider upgrade, and your respective account person would have all the details and can explain it to you.
Okay. Our chat feature that we've introduced, does it have any language translation capabilities? I'm assuming being able to localize.
So that feature is I-18N enabled, meaning that if my chat language is going to be, let's say, Japanese, or it's going to be German, then the interface will support that, right? So one user sending messages in German, another user responding in German, all of that is supported, and it can be logged on the ticket information. It does not have any translation capability, though. So if I type in English and I want my messages to appear in German, that's not something which is available, but it's localized for supported languages, and it is I-18N capable.
Very good. Another somewhat technical here. We're talking about support for 64-bit in our 17.0 release. Has it been recompiled to support 64-bit?
The SDM will continue to be compatible, so it can be installed on 64-bit operating system. It will be installed in 32-bit mode. It is not 64-bit enabled at this time.
Okay. Trying to go through some of these as expediently as I can. I know we've answered some of the xFlow questions. Let's see. Talk about the recording. If you see anything that jumps out at you, Rajeev, please feel free to answer those. We talked about HTML. Okay.
There is a question from Brett around EEM. Will EEM upgrade to 12.6? Will it be required, or will it continue to function properly on 12.5.1? So Brett, what we did in 17.0 release, we have upgraded the third-party libraries around, encryption and security. So that's going to require an upgrade to EEM 12.5.1 CR05 at the minimum for SDM. So it could be CR5 or 12.6 if we test that compatibility. But if you are on 12.5.1 earlier cumulative releases, it will not work for SDM, some of the SDM scenarios, deployment scenarios. If it is just in context of service catalog, it will continue to work. If it is in context of asset portfolio management, it will continue to work. But SDM would require you to move to 12.5.1 CR05 or 12.6.
Okay.
And all of this will be available through the supportability metrics through our wiki page. Sorry, go ahead, Jim.
No, I was going to jump back into an xFlow question here. Is xFlow role dependent, meaning xFlow changes look and work streams based on a particular role or persona?
Currently, xFlow roles are, it supports analyst roles. So as long as you have define your roles or contacts to hook to the analyst contact type, all those users would be able to access xFlow.
Okay. There's a question from Anderson. You may want to elaborate on, Rajeev, if you can. It's around the migrating of customizations and the file migrations and maybe the customizations and bringing in new features over the top. Maybe can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, I believe the question is in context of the customization upgrade utility.
Yeah.
And the utility that we are going to include in 17.0 is going to make your upgrade process a lot easier, be it a major version upgrade or just application of a patch in the environment, right? And the pain point in the past has been that you had custom files in your environment, and we delivered updates on those files through our installation media or through a patch. And that has been manual in the past, and it has been error prone. So this utility is going to help administrators figure out the existing files that are customized, number one, and then if those files have changed in the installation media or the patch. And then the utility merges most of the files automatically. But if it finds there are files which has conflicts, which cannot be really merged automatically, that's where it asks administrators to do a little bit of manual correction and then merge those files. And we have tested it for most of the scenarios. It's fine. It merges them automatically. But for some, admins have to still step in and do some manual merging work there. Was there any specific follow-up on that, Jim, on that particular question?
I didn't see the follow-up, but there's another kind of customization and upgrade question specific to Service Catalog. Is the customization also automated for Service Catalog in the upgrade from 14.1 to 17? Have we automated any of that? Are there any utilities around that?
The good part about Service Catalog upgrade is that it doesn't have the level of customization that we have on the Service Desk side. On Service Catalog side, most of the content is stored as metadata, be it service offering definition or the form definition. So unless you have XSL customizations, everything else should be upgraded without much of an issue. We do not have a utility for Service Catalog, to merge the customization, because unless you have changed your XSL, it should be taken care of as far as the service offerings and form definitions are concerned.
Okay. I think we may have answered this around xFlow. How are xFlow users defined, either by access type or role? You can provide a quick answer to that.
It's access type, but I'll go back and dig it out the exact specification. What I recollect, it's access type, but if that's not correct, I'll go back and post a response to that in the community.
Excellent. Let's see. Well, there were some questions here around integration. One was specific around from Jorge, which is PPM integration. Is that integrated? Is that upgradable as well? Has it been upgraded?
Our PPM integration, and in the past, there were integrations done by the field teams using the APIs, and we haven't changed the REST APIs, so the integrations would continue to work if you have it in your environment. We do not have any specific PPM integration being supported since the 14.3 release of PPM, between PPM and service management products out of the box. So the integration, there is no integration support through installer or the administration screens out of the box, but if you have those integrations in place today, they'll continue to work because we haven't changed the web service APIs in the release.
And kind of along the same train of thought is the question around our process automation. Is PAM being upgraded with 17.0? Have we updated anything on our end to support process auto? 17.0?
We'll support PAM 4.3 SP1 with 17.0, and the integration mechanism would remain the same as it used to in the past. So if you are upgrading service management from a previous version to 17.0, your integration should continue to work. If you are going to upgrade PAM from a PAM upgrade perspective, your integration should continue to work. So no major changes over there except for making sure that the compatibility is maintained, your integrations are maintained.
Okay. Coming to the end of some questions here. Another migration question here from Devin. Is there a migration tool or process that can be used to move the database from an older version of SQL Server to a newer version when setting up 17.0 in a fresh environment instead of an in-place upgrade? That was from Devin.
There is no migration utility in the product. But I'm just wondering, and this needs to be perhaps tested out, that you can, it's a database upgrade, so you might just want to copy the database and see if SQL Server would allow you to upgrade that instance of database with the latest version, and then you can run the 17.0 install on top of that. But there is no utility out of the box. We have a copy MDB procedure, which helps you copy your production environment data and get it back into pre-production environment, just in case you are trying to upgrade something or you are trying to troubleshoot something. So that helps you, change the configurations of your integrations and things like those when you copy MDB and restore it in a pre-production environment. But there is nothing like migrating the database from an older version of SQL Server or Oracle to the later versions of the database software. Yeah.
Okay. Kind of going back to kind of the new unified or common theme look and feel, the question here was specifically around the look and feel of unified self-service and kind of bringing those together with xFlow, catalog, ITSM management. Is there an effort or direction that we're going in terms of the common look and feel that you can speak to?
Yes, so unified self-service is something where we haven't changed much in this release. The look and feel and the functionality remains intact as compared to the 14.1 version and all the cumulative patches and additional work that we did for unified self-service on 14.1 GA release. And 17, nothing changes for unified self-service. As you would have seen in the community webcast a couple of weeks back, we will be focused on coming up with the next generation unified self-service. And that will be a much more targeted user experience for end users. And that would be something which we plan to align with our xFlow technology, and that will be aligned with the look and feel of xFlow and other interfaces. But the existing unified self-service, we haven't really updated any look and feel or feature aspects in 17.0 release.
Excellent. Let's see, back to Service Catalog. Is there any intention in the near future to enable role creation in Service Catalog?
Service Catalog does not have the role creation functionality in this release. You'll have to continue to define the access permission in EEM as it existed earlier.
Okay. Another compatibility question is SAM compatible with APM version 17.0?
Did you mean process automation?
I believe so. I think we're talking process auto. I'm assuming. I think it might be just a APM. I don't think APM. I would probably think process auto on this question.
Yeah, so process automation 4.3 SP1, that's going to be compatible with all the products in the solution in 17.0 release, be it asset portfolio management, service catalog, or service desk manager.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I see that question. Sorry, Jim. Yeah. I see that question from Sammy. Is Software Asset Manager SAM compatible with APM version 17.0? And answer is yes, Tammy. We will be certifying and testing the latest SAM version before releasing 17.0. So it will be compatible.
Excellent. Let's see, from Brett, we've got another question. Do web service calls and SDM still use the same WSDL functions? Did we change anything there?
No, we haven't changed any WSDL definitions or any web service API in Service Desk.
Okay. You may be able to answer this one. The future of IT Process Auto and beyond 17.1. What's the future? Anything that you can speak to that you'd like folks to know around Process Auto?
And process automation is a very sophisticated orchestration tool, the workflow engine that we have in place today. We will continue to package process automation, and in the foreseeable future, we do not see that going away. We do have a team working dedicatedly on process automation software for maintaining it, for enhancing it, and that there is no planned change on that front. So we'll continue to package it, we'll continue to support and maintain it, and wherever needed, we'll continue to enhance it.
Okay, here's a good one in terms of migration. You may have answered this earlier. Is there a good way to migrate? And this is from Anderson. Is there a good way to migrate from 12.7 to 14.1, and then after that migrate to 17.0? Or is there anything direct from 12.7 to 17.0?
If it is about Service Catalog 12.7, we have really not tested Service Catalog 12.7 for upgrade to 17, but we do not really see a reason why it would not work. It's just that we haven't tested that older version. It should work. If it does not, then you'll have to move to either 12.8, 9, or 14 in order to come to 17. If the question is for SDM 12.7, there is a direct upgrade path from 12.7 of SDM to 17.0.
Okay. And you may have mentioned this also just in terms of availability and download. When will 17 be available for customers to download?
So if you are interested in taking a look at it, it's available as a pre-release software through our validation site. It's validate.ca.com, and you'll see CA Service Management 17 listed over there. You can register and you can download a pre-release build to try it out in your local environment. The official GA is currently planned for Q2, which is either of April, May, or June this year. We are in the last mile of our testing activities, and it should be out soon. You know, it's a matter of a few weeks from now.
Excellent. Okay. And Rajeev, this is timely. Are there any new analytic capabilities introduced in 17.0, smart ticket classification, ticket creation from an error message? Anything that you can speak to?
And did you say analytics capability, Jim?
Well, I believe it's kind of the intelligence, if you will, not necessarily reporting and analytics, but is there anything in the background that's going to, I'm assuming I'm kind of reading into Aliv's question here, being able to create a smart ticket or create tickets based on classification from error messages, snapshots, etc.
Yeah. So if you look at xFlow, we have the Elasticsearch technology powering a number of capabilities in xFlow, which includes smart ticket categorization. You can, as you type in the ticket description, it suggests the possible categories or possible templates that can be applied on the ticket. So analysts don't really need to select a category from the attribute field or whatever. They can, while typing in the ticket description, they can select a category, and that takes care of the attributes and you know, troubleshooting questions that need to be asked, and it brings up all of that in context of the ticket creation process. That capability or that technology also powers suggested solutions. While an analyst is working on a ticket, that back-end intelligence brings the related documents that can help the analyst resolve this ticket quickly. Or it also brings in the previously resolved tickets that are similar in nature and that can help the analyst apply the same solution on this ticket as well. Same way, the suggested exports capability, it mines the information behind the scene, looks at the similar tickets in the past and who were the analysts handling those tickets, who has the highest score, etc., and it recommends those analysts as suggested experts in context of the ticket. The solution also has a global search capability where based on multiple attributes or multiple parameters, like, you know, you start with the ID of the ticket, or you can use you know, keyword in the ticket, and you can search for the ticket relatively easily through that search mechanism. So these are the things currently powered by analytics technologies behind the scene. As we move down the road in future, our interfaces will leverage more and more analytics technologies, the searching mechanisms, and other AI, ML type of technologies behind the scene to make it easier, more contextual, and more intelligent in context of what a user does. So that's use of analytics technology. While we are doing that, on the other hand, for reporting and advanced reporting sort of needs, we'll continue to invest in the area of the data surface creation and mature our JasperSoft adoption to address the needs of advanced reporting or anything which is data analytics related. So I hope a long-winded answer, but perhaps that addresses, Jim.
I think it does answer the question. Let's see, we're down to the last two here. Is xFlow and Unified Self-Service required for 17.0, or are they optional extras that can be left uninstalled and unused? Those required components?
They're not required components. The common installer that we created for 14.1 release, that common installer is further matured for 17.0 release, and using one installer, you can install Service Desk Manager, Service Catalog, Asset Portfolio Management, Unified Self-Service, or xFlow. You can pick and choose what you want to install and what you do not, and then you can go ahead and complete it. It figures out the integrations behind the scene. It knows if USS is available and what specific configurations should be put in place. If xFlow is available, what specific backend services need to be installed, whether they need to be enabled or disabled, etc. So they are not absolutely required through the common installer.
Okay. I missed one previously, and it was around mobile. So are there any planned changes with CA Service Management Mobile with the upgrade to 17.0?
There is no change in the mobile app. It will continue to support what the features and capabilities it had in the past release. In 17.0, when it goes out, one thing that we'll be ensuring is it is compatible with that version. But there is no new feature function going in the mobile app along with this release.
Okay. Let's see. Two more questions here. One is specifically, this is from Anderson, around chats. So in order to chat with end users, do I still use support automation in order to chat with users?
Yes. Support automation will continue to function. It will continue to offer the chat functionality between end users and analysts. And in 17.0, we are not going to replace that with a more modern technology. However, down the road, as you would have seen in the community roadmap presentation, when we bring our business user UI, the next version of USS, that would have a more advanced collaboration mechanism for end users. But for 17.0, it will be support automation, and it will continue working as it did.
Okay, and I think we've come to the top of the hour here. I know we have just a few minutes left. Rajeev, in terms of where our users, the community here, can get access to not only the recording itself, the question here is from Eileen, but she's asking, several others have asked, where can they get kind of either documentation, if you will, on what's in 17.0, functionality, are there any pre-release notes or anything like that? Can you direct them anywhere in terms of, what's coming, what's in, and then also in terms of access, where they can get access to that information?
Yes. What we can do is, before it goes GA, I'll be posting the link to the validation site and where you can find all the pre-release artifacts like build and the presentation on what's new, link to the pre-release documentation where you can review the details of features, etc. We can post that information along with this posting in community so that it'll be available to everyone. When the release is officially GA, all of that information will be available through our DocOps wiki that's accessible over internet.
Okay, and we'll post that obviously and make sure that everyone has access or knows where that information's at. So that's great. There was another question that just came in terms of EOL on 14.0. Is there anything that we can say around EO end of life for 14.0?
We haven't yet announced the end of service for 14.1 or even 12.9 for that matter. Around 17.0 GA timeframe, we'll be posting end of service announcement for 12.9 for sure. And maybe a few months down the road, we'll post end of service announcement for 14.1 as well. But we haven't really determined the actual end of service date for 14.1 at this time. But 12.9, most likely it's going to be end of this calendar year. But that's something we have not officially announced. We'll announce it in communities, maybe a couple of months time frame.
Okay. And lastly, the last question here, and you've probably already addressed this to some degree in terms of compatibility with web apps, i.e. Chrome, et cetera. Will we be posting compatibility matrix anytime soon, or will that just come with our GA release?
It's part of the documentation wiki, which is not GA yet. So it's available. As far as browsers go, we have support for Internet Explorer 11 plus, the latest versions of Mozilla Firefox and Chrome.
Wonderful. Okay. Rajeev, you've done a great job. You've gone through the rapid fire session answering all these questions. Hopefully that's been helpful for everyone on the call. This is fantastic. Obviously, we have another great release in a series of releases, from the product team, development team. Looking forward to it. I know everyone's looking forward to it. So this hopefully has been, for my benefit as well, it's been a great session to kind of understand, not only what we're delivering, but kind of what we're looking at for the future. So fantastic. Rajeev, any final comments you'd like to make?
The only thing is, thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you for using CS Service Management. We are excited about 17.0 release, and I hope you are excited too. We'll be posting the details of pre-release validation site along with this recording on the community. So if you need more information, you can check in the validation site, or you can directly send me a note at rajeev.kumar@ca.com. That's all, Jim.
Okay, great. Thank you. Everyone, have a great rest of your day, and we will be, obviously in contact through the community with more details to come, obviously, and we look forward to the release and also feedback. So, we'll definitely use the community as a forum for feedback. So thank you very much, and everyone have a great rest of your day.